A truck fatality hit two boys on the highway, but a girl made a split-second choice before impact. For a young girl, there are few things more dangerous than crossing a busy road alone. This became tragically apparent in Rochester, Indiana, when 6-year-old twins Xavier and Mason Engel were killed by a truck on the way to the school bus. However, before the vehicle hit them, their older sister made a split-second decision. Residents of Rochester, Michael and Brittany Stahl, were the proud parents of two young daughters named Selena and Olivia. Following their divorce, though, Brittany went on to have twins with her new partner, Shane Engel, naming the boys Xavier and Mason. Brittany and Shane are residents of the local Miser mobile home site, living there with the 4 children. The quartet were students at Mentor Elementary School, and the bus picked them up on State Route 25. However, the kids needed to cross the busy highway to reach the vehicle each day. On the morning of October 30th, 2018, though, everything changed. 9-year-old Olivia and her 2 younger brothers prepared to head off for the school bus. Their older sister, Selena, however, stayed at home ahead of a trip to the doctor's. With that in mind, the trio crossed the road as per normal, looking forward to their day at school. However, as they walked toward the bus, a Toyota pickup truck ran them down, with the driver failing to stop in time. Tragically, Olivia, Xavier, and Mason were all killed in the collision, while another child, Maverick Lowe, was left seriously injured. Following the crash, though, the children's uncle, Elgin Engel, made a heartbreaking observation. Olivia held their hands on the walk to the school bus and onto the bus every day. He told station WRTV News in October 2019. She was holding their hands when they were hit, and it looks like she tried to shield them. Olivia had a split second to think of what to do, Elgin added. She chose to shield her brothers with that split second. On that note, he then turned his attention to Shane, who was still home at the time of the accident. The father eventually identified his children to police officers after running to the scene. Shane didn't lose one kid, Elgin told ABC News. He lost all his kids. How do you tell your little brother it'll get better? You can't. My brother, the most loving man in the world and the best father I've ever known, now is a father to no one. As the police began their investigation into the accident, Elgin had some kind words for his niece and nephews. Once you got past the shyness, the 2 boys were a life spark, he recalled to WRTV. They were non-stop, happy, go-fast, jumpy boys. They were American boys, how they're supposed to be raised. Olivia, my niece, was the kindest child you'll ever meet, Elgin continued. There's no stopping her. She gets a goal and she goes and gets it. She's helpful, she's attentive to other people's needs, she's what you want in a child. Meanwhile, it soon came to light that the residents living in the trailer park had raised the issue of the school bus route in the past. They had, in fact, sent a request to the local school corporation in an attempt to change the route so youngsters wouldn't have to cross that busy street. This has been an issue before, Elgin told ABC News. The parents have made comments to the school about this changing. There's plenty of room for the school bus to pull into the park and pick up these kids, but this school has been warned that this is an issue. Following the accident, though, the school corporation decided to act. Indeed, its superintendent, Blaine Conley, revealed that the school bus would now stop inside the trailer park as opposed to on State Route 25. However, that wasn't all, as Conley planned to assess the safety of the district's other bus stops as well. As for the crash, Tony Slocum, a sergeant with the Indiana State Police, released some more details to the press. The investigation has shown that a school bus was traveling northbound and stopped, put its stop arm up, and had all emergency lighting on the bus activated, he said. The children then started to cross into the roadway and were struck by the southbound vehicle, Slocum added. Their father had to come out and identify his children. It was excruciating. Later that day, authorities revealed the identity of the Toyota driver to the public. Her name was Alyssa Shepard. According to Shepard, she didn't realize that the lights ahead of her belonged to a school bus. By the time she did, though, Olivia, Xavier, and Mason were already crossing the street. Unfortunately, she wasn't quick enough to stop the truck before the fatal collision. Authorities issued a warrant for Shepard's arrest. Her alleged crimes included 3 separate counts of reckless homicide, as well as disregarding a stop sign and causing injury. Arrested on the day of the incident, she was out on bail later that evening. However, Elgin couldn't hide his anger when talking about the driver. "You're supposed to get on your bus and be safe," Elgin told ABC News. What are you doing where you're not paying attention at that time of the morning? Despite the pain, though, the local community rallied around the family in the immediate aftermath of the tragedy. Indeed, later that day, a friend of the Ingalls set up a GoFundMe page, hoping to help the family as best they could. Incredibly, the page has earned over $150,000 in donations so far. As for Maverick, the fourth child caught up in the accident, he's still recovering in hospital from his injuries. While the 11-year-old remains under doctor's care, Shepard's court hearing is scheduled for November 2018, where she'll answer the charges against her.